Hi, so as promised, here's a little insight into what I do in the studio, and just for this I've brought up the Score Relief spring music that I mentioned in the other part of the vlog there. So this particular piece, I've used a piece of software called Logic, which you can see here. Logic is Apple Mac based software, music software, and not originally designed by Apple but bought by Apple a good few years ago now. Originally a company called eMagic, but that's a bit geeky. Never mind. This is Logic, so you have all your instruments down here from top to bottom, and then music runs from left to right. In this case I've got the picture to work to, which I can double click on and get the picture up here. If I just run it a little bit, get lost here. There it is, running, little dog. So I have based my piece on a sort of chord sequence that I came up with, which I'll play on the keyboard here. It starts off slowly in the original score, in my score, so it goes. So I just really liked that progression of the bass moving upwards. That sort of harmony, and the B, yeah, etc. He's cocking it up. But so what I did is I started off with that particular piece there. You'll see it playing now. Now, what I wanted to do was in some way incorporate the key of, in the actual original animation, there's a bit of percussive sound which starts it off, which is the animation that we're scoring to isn't the full piece, and I had a look at the full piece, and it's actually part of the animation that the little girl in the animation hits this kind of ancient spirit creatures, kind of like they're like big whiskers, and she hits them with her staff and plays this little tune on it, and it ends on that F sharp. So that's where I started. Started the note off. Yes. That you there's certain points in the film or animation that you're working to that you have to hit bang on to sort of emphasize them. So in this case I've kind of geared the music to hit this point where she hits the staff, and then the spirit creatures start writhing through the forest, and the idea is that she restarts the life cycle and starts spring off, which is a lovely idea, I think, especially in this cold environment we've got at the moment with the winter. So I've got various different layers. We've got the piano, as you can hear, and I've got a Celtic harp. I just knocked my keyboard down up an octave, sorry. Yeah, played brilliantly there. But the whole thing's based, say, on the same chord sequence, but then I created a melody over the line over the top of it, which is what the harp uses. for some reason half my percussion's missing, is because I haven't turned it on. So you can mute the tracks, which is a useful thing to show you. So I'm going to unmute them all. And there you go. If I start that bit. Still based on that whole tune. So I've got low strings doing the to really emphasize that, and they come from a what's called a plugin, an instrument plugin. So this is another bit of music software. It's called a sound library in this case, and it's a separate bit of software that works within a piece of music software like Logic. Okay, Logic is what's known as a DAW, or digital audio workstation, and there's various DAWs. Cubase is another DAW, DAW as I said. Yes, we've got Logic, Cubase, you've got PreSonus Studio One, Reaper, all sorts of different DAWs, and most of them support these individual plugins called instrument plugins. This one's by a company called Spitfire Audio. There are many others, and this is one of their introductory plugins called BBC Symphony Orchestra, and it's from their Discover series. And it's really just an idea. It's just a way of getting you to know their orchestra, or their full orchestra plugin. You can buy a full one, which is much more complex than this one. But this is fine for me at the moment, as it was basically free, which is great. And it allows you to choose the different sections of the orchestra and play around. So this one I've got got big basses on, but you've got different articulations. So you've got these what they call longs, so they allow you to hold a note on. You've got spiccato, which allows the instruments to go like that. It's like a harsh bow technique. That sort of stuff. And you may have heard of pizzicato. So in this case, they pluck the strings. But I leave that back on long because that's what I need for this piece. So I've got low strings. I've got a little flute sound on there for various bits. Later on in the track, I wanted to echo that theme, that percussive theme that starts the whole thing off. So I used horns for that. Not horns, sorry, I used high strings. Sorry. Apologies, got that wrong. I got it. Oh, it's fading out now. There you go, that's what it played. So, but that's the same melody that that percussive sort of marimba sound at the beginning plays, and I wanted to echo that. Yeah, so various other elements. We've got, like I say, we've got the flute. Down here we've got another string from the orchestra, the BBC orchestra there. That would be the cellos. And we've got here something from their Labs series. If you want to get into doing some sort of soundtracky type composing, great thing to do is get on board with the Spitfire Labs. And I'm not sponsored by Spitfire, by the way, it's just what I've got at the moment. The Spitfire Labs is a completely free set of libraries, and really worth looking at, and they're really good. And one of these Labs sets is called Frozen Strings, and gives some really unusual string sounds that have been sort of treated and mashed up a little bit. But this one's called Soltesto Cello, and it gets the really nice example of strings being played super softly, so you're barely even touching the strings, so you get this really dissonant sound off it. So that's really nice. So I've used that underneath the introduction here, And then what we've got here, another string sound, short string sound. So that's for the intro when I do that sort of stuff. Okay. Another one there just for the lows. There you go, pizzicato in fact, just to kind of emphasise that thing. We've got a long, just that bit in between. So I've recorded a guitar part. So this is recorded into audio, so this isn't actually a MIDI part as such, in the same way that how I use the plugins. So this is actually audio that I've recorded in. I've gone in via my mixing desk and into the software and recorded audio. So I've got this this strumming part. So that's just to underpin all the instrumental fun that I've got going on. Now I'll just get my loop back to there so I can. So that's another plugin, but that's sort of dulcimer sound, and then mix that with the guitar. You get that kind of ethnic sounding. Sort of various different layers just to kind of give it body. I've got a bit of a percussive bar-on sound, like an Irish drum. And another one with a different rhythm. And add a drum kit. So you take that all together and you bring the instrument in, and that's it. Gives you a little insight into how I work with this. It's still a process that I'm learning. Writing music for score and media is, writing score for media and film, sorry, I should say, is something that I've, long wanted to get into more. And this, this lockdown scenario and this COVID situation has actually given me an opportunity to sort of delve deeper into it and practice a bit more. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it, and I will look forward to speaking to you again soon. Ta-da!